They weren't just trucks. They were engineering experiments on wheels. Machines that pushed technology to the edge, sometimes too far. Built not for profit, but for pride, innovation, and the thrill of being the best. These are the 10 most over-engineered trucks ever built. Vehicles that showed us what happens when engineers are given too much freedom and too little restraint. Let's dive in. Number 1. Mercedes-Benz Unimog U5000. Some machines are built for work, but the Mercedes-Benz Unimog U5000, it was built for war. Born out of post-war Germany's obsession with perfection, the Unimog was never meant to be just a truck. It was a mechanical mountain goat, engineered to go where roads didn't exist and to survive where most vehicles simply died. Underneath that iconic boxy shell lies a marvel of engineering. A torque-flexible ladder frame that literally twists like a spring without cracking. It's designed this way so each wheel can maintain contact even on impossible terrain. The portal axles lift the entire body higher than the wheels themselves, giving it unreal ground clearance. Imagine driving through knee-deep mud, rivers, or snow. The Unimog doesn't stop. Its forged steel frame, all-wheel drive, and differential locks make it feel unstoppable, and it practically is. Even the drivetrain breathes through a snorkel, allowing the truck to wade through water that would drown anything else. The U5000's 6.4-liter turbo diesel engine isn't about speed, it's about raw, unbreakable torque. It's been tested in deserts, jungles, and frozen mountains, often running continuously for days. From military convoys and firefighting units to extreme expedition rigs and rescue missions, the Unimog has done it all. It's not flashy, it's not fast, but it's legendary. It's the kind of machine that makes engineers proud and accountants cry, because it's too complex, too expensive, and too durable to make sense for normal life. The Unimog U5000 wasn't designed to transport you from A to B. It was designed to take humanity to the edge of the earth and bring it back alive. Number 2. Hummer H1 Alpha. When engineers at AM General built the Humvee for the US military, they created one of the most unstoppable off-road vehicles in history. But then someone had a wild idea. What if we make one for civilians? The result was the Hummer H1, and later, the ultimate version, the H1 Alpha. This wasn't a truck. This was military armor on wheels. The H1 Alpha came armed with a 6.6-liter Duramax turbo diesel V8, producing over 520 pound-feet of torque, enough to climb walls, crawl through rivers, and crush obstacles that would destroy ordinary pickups. Its body panels were thick aluminum. Its underbody armor was bullet-resistant, and its drivetrain featured portal gears, the same tech that gave it insane ground clearance. But here's the thing. It was never meant for city streets. It was too wide, too heavy, and too stubborn for daily driving. Parking one was like trying to dock a tank in a grocery store. Fuel economy? Don't even ask. Yet despite all that, people loved it because it represented absolute dominance. Every piece of the H1 was overbuilt. Hydraulic assist steering, central tire inflation system, run-flat tires, and a drivetrain so complex that it needed specialists to maintain. And yet, it became a symbol of power, excess, and engineering without compromise. Celebrities bought them, soldiers respected them, and enthusiasts called them the king of off-road. The H1 Alpha wasn't comfortable or efficient. It was a rolling demonstration of military over-engineering. It could cross rivers, climb mountains, and outlast nature itself, but it couldn't beat a Prius in a parking lot. The Hummer H1 Alpha is proof that when engineers build a truck with zero limits, what you get is a legend that's just a little too much for the real world. Number 3. Ford F650 Super Truck. In a world where pickup trucks keep getting bigger every year, one machine stands above them all, literally. The Ford F650 Super Truck isn't just a truck, it's a statement of excess. It's what happens when American engineers take the words "go big or go home" way too seriously. Originally designed as a medium-duty commercial vehicle, the F650's natural job was hauling freight or towing construction equipment. But Ford's engineers thought, why not make it street legal for anyone crazy enough to drive it? So they did. Under the hood, you could get a 6.7-liter Power-stroke V8 diesel, producing over 330 horsepower and up to 750 pound-feet of torque. But the real magic wasn't the engine, it was the sheer size. This beast weighed nearly 10,000 pounds, stood taller than most SUVs, and could tow up to 37,000 pounds with ease. That's like towing 2 school buses at once. Its interior was surprisingly luxurious: plush leather seats, touchscreen infotainment, even rear TVs and air suspension. Some owners even added custom chrome stacks, LED rigs, and second fuel tanks, turning it into the ultimate road monster. But here's the catch: this truck didn't fit in regular parking lots. It couldn't make tight turns, and filling up both fuel tanks could cost as much as a plane ticket. Still, that didn't matter, because owning one wasn't about practicality. It was about presence. When you drive a Ford F650, you don't merge into traffic. Traffic gets out of your way. It's mechanical overkill in the purest form. A truck engineered to be too much of everything. Too big, too powerful, too unnecessary. And that's exactly why it's unforgettable. Because sometimes engineering brilliance isn't about doing what's smart. It's about doing what's insane and making it work. Number 4. Tatra T815. In the quiet mountains of Czechoslovakia, during the height of the Cold War, a group of engineers built a truck that defied logic, the Tatra T815. It wasn't made for luxury, or even for civilian life. It was designed for one purpose: to survive anything. The T815's engineering is something out of science fiction. At its heart lies a central backbone tube chassis, a giant steel spine that carries the drive shaft inside it, protecting it from mud, rocks, and battle damage. Attached to that are independent swinging half-axles, meaning each wheel moves on its own, giving it ridiculous articulation across terrain that would flip other trucks. And then there's the power. Air-cooled V8 and V12 diesel engines. No radiators, no coolant, because in a war zone a broken radiator means death. The engine could run in deserts at 50 degrees Celsius or in Siberia at -40 degrees Celsius with no modification. Its suspension was built to handle explosions. Its transmission could power through deep rivers, and its reliability was so absurd that even after 50 years, many T815s are still serving in military and civilian use. But this level of durability came at a cost. The T815 was expensive, heavy, and mechanically complex. It wasn't a truck you fixed, it was a truck you worshipped. The T815 went on to dominate the Dakar Rally, crushing competition in one of the harshest races on Earth. While other trucks broke, Tatra just kept moving, mile after mile, year after year. It wasn't just over-engineered, it was perfectly over-engineered. The T815 is a machine that doesn't care about design trends or budgets. It's a truck built by people who refuse to accept the word impossible. And that's what makes it one of the most legendary and over-engineered trucks ever to roll on this planet. Number 5. Oshkosh M1070. When the US Army needed a vehicle that could move a 70-ton Abrams tank, engineers didn't design a truck. They built a monster. This is the Oshkosh M1070 Het, the heavy equipment transporter. A vehicle so over-engineered that it could probably tow your entire neighborhood if you gave it a chance. This 8-wheel drive beast was built with one purpose: haul the heaviest machines of war across any terrain on Earth. Under its hood lies a 12-liter Caterpillar C18 diesel engine pushing out over 700 horsepower and more than 2,000 pound-feet of torque. That's enough power to pull an entire battle tank uphill. Every part of this truck screams military-grade excess. The suspension is reinforced to survive artillery-level shock waves. Its axles are independently driven with run-flat tires and a central tire inflation system that can adjust air pressure while driving. Even if 2 or 3 tires are destroyed, the M1070 keeps moving. Inside, the cab is armored and air-conditioned. Its transmission is fully automatic, designed to handle loads that would destroy normal gearboxes in seconds. And the trailer it hauls. It's not a trailer, it's a battlefield bridge on wheels. The 1070 can tow up to 160,000 pounds, carry soldiers, and even operate in chemical or nuclear zones. That's right, it's sealed for survival in a nuclear war. Of course, owning one in civilian life would be madness. You'd need a special license, a hangar for parking, and a gas station that doesn't close. But that's not the point. The Oshkosh M1070 isn't practical. It's proof of what happens when engineers are told, build it so strong that nothing can stop it. And that's exactly what they did. Number 6. Volvo FH16 750. Europe is known for efficient, practical trucks, vehicles built for precision and economy. But Volvo decided to break its own rules and ask, what if we built the most powerful road truck on the planet? The answer was the Volvo FH16 750. This isn't just a truck. It's a technological masterpiece disguised as a long hauler. Under that clean Scandinavian design beats a 16.1-liter inline-6 diesel engine, producing a mind-bending 750 mph and a massive 3,550 Nm of torque. That's right, this truck could pull 300,000 pounds and still maintain highway speeds. But what truly makes it over-engineered isn't just power, it's the brains. The FH16 750 came equipped with Volvo's I-Shift dual-clutch transmission, an AI-driven system that predicts terrain using GPS data, shifting gears before the incline even arrives. It features adaptive cruise control, hill assist, lane warning, torque sensors, and a fully air-suspended cab that feels like you're driving a business-class seat at 90 km/h. Even the braking system is a masterpiece, using electronic braking, retarder assistance, and hill hold functions for safety at any load. This truck wasn't built to save fuel. It was built to show off what happens when engineering meets perfectionism. In the hands of a skilled driver, the FH16 750 feels almost alive, reacting, thinking, adapting. It's a truck that blends brute mechanical strength with digital precision. And that's why it's over-engineered. Because no one really needs a 750 horsepower semi-truck. But everyone who's ever driven one says the same thing. Once you do, nothing else compares. Number 7. GMC Topkick C4500 Kodiak. When Arnold Schwarzenegger wanted a truck, he didn't buy a pickup. He bought a GMC Topkick C4500, a truck so large that it made Hummers look small. Built originally as a medium-duty commercial truck, the C4500 and its twin, the Chevrolet Kodiak, were designed for towing and heavy industrial work. But GMC engineers and a few bold buyers saw potential for something wild. So they overbuilt it. They took that rugged chassis and fitted it with a 6.6-liter Duramax diesel V8 and an Allison automatic transmission, the same setup used in semi-trucks. They added massive axles, commercial-grade brakes, heavy-duty suspension, and then wrapped it all in a luxury cabin with leather seats, infotainment, and plush detailing. The result? A truck that weighed nearly 9,000 pounds, stood taller than most garages, and could pull more than 20,000 pounds without breaking a sweat. Driving one wasn't easy. It required precision, patience, and courage. Parking? But that was never the point. The C4500 wasn't designed to make sense. It was designed to make a statement. Every part of this truck felt excessive. Oversized brakes, military-grade tires, a frame that could probably survive a collision with a freight train. It was the ultimate symbol of mechanical dominance, a truck for those who believed bigger really was better. It's over-engineered, overbuilt, and outrageously cool. A rolling skyscraper that proved American engineering doesn't just make trucks. It makes legends. Number 8. Man-Cat 1. The 1970s Cold War tensions, Europe divided. And in West Germany, engineers at MAN were asked to design the ultimate military truck, a vehicle that could operate even in a nuclear war. The result was the Man-Cat 1, one of the most rugged, over-engineered military trucks ever made. Built for NATO, this 8x8 beast was powered by a Deutz air-cooled diesel engine, chosen because it didn't need water, meaning no freezing, no boiling, no leaks. The engine sat high in the chassis, giving the truck the ability to wade through rivers and mud without a problem. Its torsion-resistant backbone frame allowed incredible flexibility without compromising strength. Each wheel had its own drive connection, allowing full power distribution even if some wheels were off the ground. It had a central tire inflation system, self-recovery winches, and sealed electronics to survive chemical contamination zones. This was not a truck. This was military science on wheels. The KAT-1 could drive through minefields, climb 60% gradients, and operate in temperatures from -40 degrees Celsius to +50 degrees Celsius. Its entire design revolved around one goal: never stop moving. Even today, decades later, KAT-1s are still used by private collectors, expedition travelers, and military enthusiasts. Because nothing built since has matched its combination of durability, simplicity, and sheer over-engineering. It's a machine that could survive the apocalypse and probably drive through it while you're filming. The Man-Cat 1 is the kind of truck that makes even the toughest off-road rigs look like toys. A masterpiece of German engineering. Too complex, too strong, and too perfect for ordinary life. Number 9. Scania R 730 V8. When Scania released the R730 V8, they weren't trying to make a practical truck. They were trying to build the pinnacle of trucking engineering. Under that sleek Scandinavian body sat a 16.4-liter V8 diesel engine, producing 730 horsepower, the most powerful truck engine of its era. But it wasn't just brute force, it was precision, refinement, and intelligence rolled into one. The R730 V8 was equipped with active suspension, electronic stability systems, torque sensors, and predictive cruise control that could read the road ahead. Its transmission wasn't just automatic, it was adaptive, shifting gears based on terrain and driving behavior. Inside, the cab felt more like a luxury hotel than a truck. Leather seats, climate control, soundproof insulation, and LED ambient lighting. Every inch screamed sophistication. But what made it over-engineered was Scania's obsession with perfection. Every piston, every injector, every gear tooth, designed for microscopic precision. The truck could run for over 1 million kilometers with minimal wear. It was too smooth, too smart, too powerful. Drivers called it the king of the road because it combined the heart of a race car with the comfort of a luxury sedan. The R730 wasn't made to haul cargo. It was made to dominate highways and remind everyone what Swedish engineering could do when pushed to the extreme. And that's why it's one of the most over-engineered trucks ever built. Not because it was impractical, but because it was too perfect for its own good. Number 10. Terex Titan 3319. And now, the king. The most over-engineered truck ever built. The Terex Titan 3319. In 1974, General Motors had one goal: create the largest truck the world had ever seen. And they did. The Titan stood 22 feet tall, 66 feet long, and could carry 350 tons of payload. To move all that, it used a 3,300 horsepower 16-cylinder Detroit diesel engine, driving an electric transmission, the same system used in locomotives. It was the ultimate engineering flex. Every system was overbuilt, from the tires the size of small houses to the frame that could withstand the weight of a blue whale. But it was too expensive, too massive, and too impractical to produce in numbers. Only one was ever built. And that single unit worked for decades in a Canadian mine, hauling rock until its retirement, without ever failing. Today, It stands as a monument, a museum piece that represents an era when engineers were allowed to dream without limits. The Titan wasn't made for roads. It was made for history. A truck so big, so powerful, and so unnecessary that it became an icon of what happens when mankind builds not because it needs to, but because it can. The Terex Titan 33-ton boin, the crown jewel of over-engineering. A reminder that sometimes greatness comes from going too far.